Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hey there. So I am Alex Lee.
And I'm Joey Lee.
So we are VPs with Pottery, and we hop on every Tuesday, and we've been doing these social media trainings. We've been having a lot of fun with it, and we hope that you guys are too.
Yes. So we are here tonight, and we are talking, well, I guess for some of us it's tonight, but we are here tonight to talk to you about your core 5 topics.
Yeah, so this really pertains to Facebook and Instagram. You can kind of tie some of this into TikTok for those of you that are on TikTok, but this works really well with Facebook and Instagram, and it does help you to kind of diversify your stuff on TikTok as well.
Yeah.
So, let's just jump right in.
Yeah.
Jump right into it.
So we really want you to be thinking about things that you really enjoy. Things that if you had to, take away the stage fright, if you had to get on stage and talk to somebody for 5 to 10 minutes about a topic that you are really passionate about, that you really love, what would some of those things be? I want to take a few minutes and just be thinking about, what are some of the things that I really, really love? For me, there's a whole long list of things, but the ones that I'm like really, really passionate about, or that I could get on stage and be talking about or giving some sort of training about, for me is pets, personal development, nature, entrepreneurship, and lifestyle. Now, I want to give you some of those broad categories. So it's not necessarily like I love lighthouses, but I'm not like super proficient and know all of the lighthouses in Michigan and all these types of things. I really love going to them and seeing them and learning about the history and all that fun stuff. But it's very, very like lighthouses is kind of like a direct thing. Now, lighthouses kind of fit underneath nature. So if we actually go and do one of the things that's on my bucket list of going around and seeing all the lighthouses in Michigan, that would be under the category of nature. To give you a little bit of an example.
Yeah. Lifestyle happens to be one of mine as well. So like, for instance, with lifestyle, that can cover a wide range of topics. So, within that, we could be talking about traveling. We could be talking about, we could be talking about just, exercising and fitness. Like, these are all kind of lifestyle things. Obviously, traveling is a big thing for Joey and I. It could be like a bit of our relationship and different things, different ways that we give back to the community. So like lifestyle is kind of like a broad term one. But what we want you guys to be doing is really be thinking about like what's important to you and what is something that you want to be talking about. So I know many people that hop on these are familiar with the TICS formula, which is teach, inspire, connect, and then share. This actually can go right along with that. But the benefit about having your core 5 topics that you go back to is if you're cycling through, each topic, then like your content's diversified, but it's still very much like you. Because I know, Joey, you can talk about if you don't plan out things, what kind of ends up happening.
Yeah, I have definitely been the serial poster for a very, very, very long time where I'm just like, I feel like posting about this today. And then that's what I post about. And then I look back and I kind of analyze what I've been posting about, and it's all puppies and dogs. And so training
like dogs, or cats.
Yes.
Cat was laying on me this morning, so I couldn't get out of bed.
I'm cuddling with the cat. I'm training Breck. Keaton's doing this. The cat's looking cute. So I've been noticing that, yes, I post a lot about pets. The pet core 5 topic gets probably the most attention than anything else. Now, obviously, yes, my life revolves around my pets and obviously pottery, but I really want to make sure that, okay, who am I trying to attract? Who is my ideal customer, my ideal pet pro, and some of the things that they would be interested in? Yes, it is pets, but it's not pets all the time. So if you can plan out a little bit more, so this is something that I've started doing last week. is trying to plan out a little bit more on what do I want to post about from these 5 topics each day. And so like last Thursday, I believe it was, what did I post about? I think it was like personal development or kind of lifestyle, where Alex had gotten me some flowers. And so I was able to tie in the flowers Alex got me into things that have changed in our relationship with, and so that's kind of like a lifestyle post. The next time it was, I didn't actually end up posting it. Like I said, I'm in the process here, but it's very much just being like, okay, I want to do a quote this day. What is that quote going to be about? It could be about personal development. It could be about lifestyle. It could be about fitness. A testimonial Tuesday is always a thing that I'm going to be starting to do, because it's kind of an easy thing. We have so many testimonials on our website. We can just pull from those from the blog, and we can pull from those and make different posts about them. So you can really be pulling from different things. So if you say, okay, I want to do a quote, you could do a quote from any of those core 5 topics. And so really just try to think about too, of like, when you plan it out, okay, well, we've got 7 days in the week. We've got 5 topics. So the reason why we really like 5 is that it's broad enough to kind of get a few topics out there, but not so many that you're like, what was the other 3 or 5 things?
Yeah. Because I mean, obviously, there's dozens and dozens of things that we all have interest in, we all like, but keeping it down, kind of narrowed down to about five topics that are pretty broad, that allow you to just keep on a bit of a posting schedule. And again, this works really well for Facebook and Instagram. If you go and, people start scrolling back through your Facebook and they see for the last 2 weeks, all that you've posted, or the last week, all of you posted about was, your dog, or, whatever it may be, then they don't really get a chance to know you very well.
Right.
And a common theme in our trainings is people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust.
So actually, this kind of brings it in. I would love if you guys would pop in the chat what are some of these core 5 ideas that are coming to you guys? So what are some of those topics that you really want to be talking about? Yes, pets is probably going to be one of the things that gets put in the chat quite often here. But we really want to be hearing, what are some of the topics that you guys want to be talking about for yourself?
Yeah. I mean, for me, Joey and I have very similar things. I mean, lifestyle, entrepreneurship. I'm trying to give you guys some ideas. Lifestyle, entrepreneurship are probably some of my biggest ones. But being able to just take, I really want to drive home how important it is having a diversified feed of different content, because it allows people to connect. So if I'm talking about business stuff, I'm going to connect with people that are interested in business stuff. Now, they may or may not have pets, but when I'm talking about pet stuff, I'm going to connect with people that have pet stuff going on. Or when I'm talking about traveling, I'm going to connect with people who love to travel. So or people are going to connect with me more when it comes to that. So having those diversified things, one, it helps you stay, especially when these are things that you're really passionate about. It helps you stay committed and keeping content up.
Yeah. Because we really want you to be able to, like Alex said, have that know, like, and trust. And in those different topics, you can kind of niche down once in a while. So like I said, with lighthouses, but maybe it's us hiking with the dogs. Maybe it is seeing flowers for the nature aspect of things. And maybe you really like flowers, and you can be taught, maybe it's one day a week during the springtime, you highlight a different flower. So maybe it is training tips. So maybe dog training is one of those topics that you want to be talking about. So maybe it's not necessarily just pets, but it's actually just dog training is your topic. That's a pretty broad one, because there's so many things that you can talk about with dog training. But just be thinking, so you could do lives, you can make posts, you can make stories, you can make things on TikTok, to really just be showing people who you are so that they know, like, and trust you. And I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
It's just, I'm I'm trying to find different ways to drive this point home. So for instance, tying this into the TICS formula, the teach, inspire, connect, and share, maybe, let's see. So Deb had commented family and health. So for instance, like maybe to teach something, she could be, teaching a healthy recipe that she learned, or like a little healthy tip that she learned. So there's a teach, an inspiring thing about family, for instance, could be like, hey, I was able to take all the kids, or the husband, my wife and I went out for a date. Like it's a little bit of, you can make an inspiring post about that. And then like, for instance, like connecting, we can have, I'm thinking of some things off the top of my head. So let's say for entrepreneurship now, I could talk about how like I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and how even when I was a little kid, that's just something I've always been drawn to do is be an entrepreneur. And has anyone else been like that, or has their entrepreneurship journey started, later in life because they realized that they wanted some amount of freedom? So it's like I'm reaching out, trying to get some people to connect with that, and then share. Like now, let's tie things back into pets. So it's like, hey, my dog Mischief used to have really bad allergies. I'm so grateful that I found these chews that keep her from scratching all night. She doesn't get these open wounds anymore. So it's now I've hit on several different topics, and it's in the teach, inspire, connect, and share formula.
And it with the Grow program too, just like with the TICS formula, they really do teach you how to create those stories. So you can do stories around these topics. People love stories, and people love when you take them on through a journey. So especially any of you brand new pet pros out there, I really encourage you to be posting on your page, going live, if you will, and saying, okay, hey, I just joined this company. I'm just now trying these products. I'm really excited to see how they work for my pets. Follow along and see how X, Y, and Z work for my pet. And then each week, maybe you do a different update on how shiny is the coat getting, how much more limber is your dog getting from the joint support? Are they losing weight? So those are great things that as you don't have to be like, hey, I'm going to wait 3 months before I post anything to find out how this stuff really works. You can talk about it while you're using it, and you sharing with people your testimonial as you go along, because people absolutely love that. When we were building the house, we had so many people that followed along with this 2-year-long journey that we had. When I would post something, those were some of the biggest things that would get a lot of likes and a lot of hearts, a lot of comments, a lot of that engagement. So when you're taking people along the journey, they really do love it. And the nice thing too with the Core 5 is you don't always have to have, like, it's not like it's set in stone. Maybe during like our with the broadness of lifestyle. So in the winter, Alex and I love snowboarding. So yeah, totally going to Legacy and snowboarding with Roger. We're definitely doing that. But we are big snow bunnies come wintertime. And so obviously our hiking with the dogs is going to transition a little bit more into what are we doing during the wintertime? We're going snowboarding. We're still kind of hiking. We're taking the dogs for a walk and things like that. But you don't always have to stick with that regimen. Try and keep it pretty consistent. But as you're going through life and as you're excelling and making those changes in your business, it can change as well. Maybe you're like, man, I'm just not as passionate as I was about nature. Maybe I want to be adding in something more that's like direct on fitness. I really want to be talking more about that. That's totally okay.
Yeah. So one other quick thing about the Core 5, which, full transparency, this is not a topic Joey and I came up with. This is something that we've seen several network marketers and different marketers talk about is having this kind of Core 5 strategy as far as your posting and stuff goes. Like obviously one of them, hey, we're in the pet industry. One of them for sure needs to be about pets. Hey, we're all business owners. I really encourage you to find ways to talk about your entrepreneurial journey. Again, tying it into those it could be a bit of that journey post that Joey was talking about that we had experienced with our house and whatnot. So, I mean, those are 2 topics right away. Now within that, like Pauline had made this, like talk about pet first aid. So like, that falls in the pets category. It doesn't always have to be like you're trying to sell something. It doesn't always have to try and be like you're trying to get somebody to join the business or whatever, but it can just simply be, tying into the TICS formula. You'd be teaching somebody something like pet first aid. You could be inspiring, talk about, hey, like I started here and now I'm here and I'm really excited about it. It's a bit of an inspiring and connecting post.
Yeah.
Too.
And the nice thing with the core 5 too, it kind of gives you this, okay, these are the things I like to talk about. Now you can actually go into groups and find groups that are part of the things that you like. Maybe it's us, Alex and I are child free. One of the things that's big in our life. And so we're in groups that pertain to that. Maybe there's groups about personal development or lifestyle. Maybe there's one about, pet first aid, or there's there's different groups about health. So you can go into these groups and start finding and connecting with people that have the same interests as you. So when you friend request them and start with building that relationship, when you're posting about those things on your personal page, they're going to be relating to you. So you can, again, be drawing in those people that are your
they have things in common with.
Yeah.
And again, and this whole thing is helping you build the know, the like, and the trust. So, I mean, if you're always talking about pets, like it's not very well rounded. Or if you're always talking about traveling or business, whatever, it's not incredibly well rounded. We want people to get to know you. It is really one of the biggest things.
Yeah, and getting a little bit vulnerable. Those are usually the posts, even though they're so hard, but those are the posts that really draw people in and really start to get to know you. So you don't have to be like full on complete transparent from, but you can be a little bit vulnerable. If it's a wall that you've got, you can share just a little bit. Because that's where people can really start to relate to you. Now, with this core 5, there is the 80-20. So you want to make sure that 80% of your posts don't have anything where you're trying to share and sell. But 20% of your posts throughout the week should have that. So maybe you're posting once or twice a day. You've got a lot of posts in there. So you can actually be talking about what Pawtree has done for you and why you're in the business. The things that you've been able to see, the testimonials from customers, maybe it's your own customers. One thing that I have been really teaching my team is when you get a really happy customer and they text you and they say, oh my goodness, the Allergy Support Plus has completely changed my dog's life. Thank you so much. I love taking those screenshots and posting it in our stories. Maybe that's your testimonial Tuesday, and really be able to show people that, hey, we've got super happy customers. It might not be a full testimonial right from the website, but just taking that conversation that you've had with your customer. Maybe if you've got a picture of their dog too, you can add that into the story. So these are all different things where it's like 80% of the time you aren't talking about Pawtree and 20% of the time you are, because again, we want people that when they think of Pawtree, they think about you. But you do have to post about Pawtree so that they think about you.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to bombard your customer base, your Facebook, your Instagram. You don't want to be bombarding them constantly with, Pawtree posts.
So, yeah, I think that about covers what I wanted to talk about with the core 5 today.
I think so, yeah.
So, each week we leave off with a challenge. So the challenge this week is to come up with your core 5 things that you want to talk about. Now, this is going to change. This definitely is going to change over time. You're going to find like, well, maybe I'm not really passionate about something as I thought I was going to be. So if you come up with your core 5, and then we have 7 days between, including today, between now and next week. So if you, I would love for you to figure out what your core 5 is, and then post around that. So maybe one day it's pets, the next day it's entrepreneurship, the next day it's going to be lifestyle, and just try and stick with that for this next week and really give it a try. A quick note about TikTok. and I know I've hit on this several times before, where you very much need to kind of stay within your niche there. So this hasn't quite seemed to work as well for TikTok, but as far as like building your own personal Facebook page and Instagram page and things like that, this does work really well, keeping your page well-rounded and whatnot.
All right. Thanks so much, guys. And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.